Hello, welcome to the Peaceful Woodturner. A while back I made this little birdhouse looking piece, just kind of playing around, experimenting, and I like how it looks. I like the basic shape. All I did for the top and the bottom was actually just put two different finishes on it. It's all one solid piece. I decided, since I've been playing around with practicing with the skew, and I've also been working on making some different Christmas ornaments, I thought maybe a little birdhouse ornament might be a neat idea. So I've got this piece of oak right here. It's pretty rough. It's nice and solid though. I'm going to start by just turning it to round, and once I get it down to round, I'll start making a birdhouse a little bit larger than my original. I mean, obviously that's a lot to take off. It's a lot of waste. Always when I'm working with these kind of pieces, you know, safety is a big concern. I really need to make sure that I'm careful with all these spots that come out a little bit. I had a nice big knot over here that I took off with my saw. So I'm down to something that's actually pretty round, but it's not quite there. So as soon as I get my safety equipment on, I'll be all set. Okay, I've got my lathe set at a relatively low speed, about 500 RPM, and I'm just going to get started rounding off. Alright, got down to round. So I'm going to work mostly right in this area. I'm going to start with the spindle gouge. Rough things out a little bit. Got a couple of little wormholes here, I need to be careful, see where they go. I think this one actually comes on an angle over here, because there's an opening over here too. So we'll see what we got. Yeah, looks like that's going right over there. Okay, most of that'll get cut off then. pretty much the shape I want. My skew is mostly giving me a really nice smooth finish, except places where I've screwed up. I'm going to trim this down a little bit more right here. As you can see, it's kind of coming out a little bit. It's not quite even all the way along. And I'm just going to smooth this some. Then I will just trim off the end, well, and trim off down here. And the rest of the finishing will be done by hand. Go. That looks pretty nice. I do have a lot of tool marks, and I do have a little bit more that I need to take off right along here because I just have a bunch of tear out right there. Let's see if I can trim that in a little bit. Alright, do a bit of sanding, and then we'll take it off. I'm going to start with a 150 grit. It's really kind of way too heavy for a lot of this stuff, but I left myself a bunch of tool marks that I wanted to see if I can get off. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to part off this end, and then part off this end, and do my final sanding and finishing off the lathe. Just going to put a little hole for the pretend birds to get in and out. Starting with a small hole, I'm going to go larger. Hopefully I can do this smoothly. So I've got my hole drilled, and I want to have two different colors here, so I'm going to start with a dark walnut Danish oil that will just go on certain sections, give me the dark finish that I want, and then I will come back later and I will put a tung oil finish on the entire piece. The tricky part here is I want to put some of this on the inside of this hole without putting much of it on the outside. And I'm getting a few fingerprints on here, so I'm kind of messing it up already. There we are. Put a bit more on the top. And then I'm going to switch off and put on the tung oil. I'm going to put a light coat on here just because I got some fingerprints on it, so I want to kind of fix that up a little bit. So not quite as heavy as the top. So we've got two different tones. That looks nice. I'm going to wipe some of that off with a clean rag, especially on the bottom here. There we are. That's pretty nice. Alright, that'll be good. Now to put a tung oil on and then set it up to hang. Got my tung oil. It's going to take a few coats to really do this right. But once I get this done, it'll have a nice high gloss to it, and it'll look really nice as a Christmas ornament.